UFC Vegas 53, Font versus Vera goes down this Saturday. What's going on, guys? Been a long time since I went live on this channel. It says it's been about 10 months. It feels like it's been a lot longer, for being honest. Let's be real. I mean, I did this shit. I mean, you go back all the way to the start of this channel. I think my first video was almost 6 years ago. You do this shit long enough, you get a little burnt out. There was a point I was doing this podcast on here for years, and then I went over to my buddy Justin's channel, UFC Bro Picks, did his podcast with him for like a year or so, maybe longer, came back here for a little bit, took the break. So it's been a long fucking road, guys, but like it never felt better to come back than it does right now. The betting results are fire. I feel like my reads are on point. My passion for this shit is fully intact right now. And to be honest, I just miss fucking talking fights, man. Like, I do all this research week in, week out, and like I wanna share my thoughts with you guys. It's always fun when you're in the chat. What's up, guys? Chronic Combat. Yo, y'all are the goats. I actually put y'all in the description. I was going to shout you out, but hey, you're already here. I'll give you the shout out. I did a podcast with these guys, Chronic Combat, a couple weeks back. First podcast I did in a while. Appreciate those guys for having the faith in me to go out and deliver. And here I am. I'm back. Feels good. It's just going to be me, man. I mean, I just want to get these breakdowns short and sweet. I want to try to not have podcasts longer than like 45 minutes. Like, just want to tell you guys my thoughts on the fights, from a betting perspective, from a breakdown perspective. Get it out there and get the hell out of here. And if you guys want to, interact in the chat, we can have some fun. Any questions? Maybe there's something I didn't cover, anything like that. I love it. Another thing, if any of y'all want to show me some support, let me tell you the best way to do that right now. It takes 1 second to hit that like button. It takes another second to hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Prize Picks. I'm also partnered by Prize Picks right now, so I have a link in the description for that as well. If you sign up using my code for Prize Picks, you get a 100% deposit match up to $100 using code Kelton. I think I covered just about everything. What's up, Z? I see you in the chat. Yo, I appreciate y'all. I mean, I think I got it all out of the way, guys. I think I can jump right into these fights. That's what you guys are here for, man. Y'all are here for the breakdowns. That's another thing. Like, I'll get like fucking 10, 15, 20 people ask me every week, oh, what's your thought on this? What's your thought on this? I used to be able to just link up straight to the damn breakdown on the YouTube channel, but haven't been able to do that in a while. So now, whenever I'm sick of, breaking down a fight for the 10th or 15th time to a random person, ABC on Twitter, I'm just going to link that person, my breakdown on YouTube. Oh, one more thing. I've been dealing with the fucking worst allergies today. So if y'all hear a sniffle, just cut me some slack. I said I was going to do this shit yesterday. I showed up. I'm here. The sniffles aren't the most fun, but you know what is fun? Breaking down these fights, man. And the first fight, we got two newcomers. We got Tatsuro Taira. He's taking on Carlos Candelario. Taira is about what is he now? A minus 240 favorite. Candelario, you can see at plus 205 in a lot of places. I mean, the thing with this fight, like Taira, you go and watch the tape on Taira, it looks good, man. Like, the takedowns are there, the grappling is there. He's a great back taker. He's a great submission artist. Kid seems to be a pretty damn good grappler. It's just to lay this line at minus 240. So he's 22 years old. I believe he's only ever fought in Japan, so this will be his first fight inside the United States. Candelario, he's been on the Contender Series twice, 2 close fights there. Training partners with Rob Font, who main events this card. I guess that kind of explains why he's on it, but like, damn, he doesn't have an easy matchup here. Like, as soon as I started to dig into it, I realized why the line is what it is. Like, Candelario gives up takedowns. And that's this kid's bread and butter, man. He's looking to get the takedown. He's looking to take your back. He's looking to sub you. I don't know if he's going to sub Candelario. If you look at the props, it's about plus 200 on Taira money line, and then, or not money line, plus 200 on Taira decision, and then about plus 200 on Taira submission. I feel like it's probably going to end up being one of those two. If Candelario can, extend the fight and like really bring a war to this kid, especially on the feet, maybe he's live, but like I just don't see enough resistance in the takedown defense. I just think this kid either backpacks him for 10-15 minutes or we see a submission here. I'm gonna go with the backpack. I'm gonna say a unanimous decision for the newcomer, but yeah, there's no need to lay the minus 240 here. Let's just see how the kid performs. So moving on to the next fight, we got Gina Mazany taking on Shayna Young. I believe Mazany sits around minus 174, minus 180. Shayna Young plus 150 range. This is just the ultimate stay away from this fight spot. Like, yeah, Gina Mazany should come in here and use her, let's be real, it's a massive wrestling advantage. She should be able to take Shayna Young down. She should be able to grind her out. I mean, probably mix in some TKO or TKO, some ground and pound, maybe some submission. I mean, let's be real here. Mazany's a lot better on the mat. Like what's up, Sean? Or let's go Ravens. Yes, sir. NFL draft tomorrow. I'm hoping my Ravens get, I don't know. I kind of want Tyler Linderbaum, but I feel like we'd be kind of reaching at 14. Maybe Jordan Davis. We'll see. Sorry, this just turned into the NFL draft chat, but anyway. But y'all don't want to hear about fucking Gina Mazany versus Shayna Young anyway. I mean, this fight. I mean, Gina Mazany, like on paper and statistically, she is a good wrestler. It's just she has quit in her. Let's be real, and all it's gonna take is for Shayna Young to put Gina Mazany in one bad spot, and we could just see a total quit job. So on one hand, absolutely Gina Mazany should be the favorite. Should you lay the minus 175? No, it's not smart long-term to lay the chalk in spots like that unless you just think it's a complete smash spot. And it could be the case here. I mean, I'm going to have my fair share of Gina Mazany on DraftKings because actually, well, when you look at Gina Mazany's wins, like the Yu Wanan one and the Rachel Ostovich one, Gina Mazany put up like 130 and 117 points on DraftKings in those fights. So like, if you like Gina Mazany, I feel like it's more optimal to go, if you play DraftKings, more optimal to go heavy on her in DraftKings rather than a bet. But yeah, just a trash fight. In my opinion, let's be real. So here's my first bet of the night. We got Natan Levy. He's minus 190 range. He's taking on Mike Breeden plus 165. I like Levy here, man. I feel like this is a good bounce back spot for him. That fight against Rafa Garcia, it was very competitive. The first two rounds were both very close. I had it 1-1 going into the third, and Rafa Garcia did a great job with his wrestling in that round to really control Levy. Rafa Garcia, man, he's a good fighter. He's got heart. He's got fighter spirit. Gets better every time. And I mean, Levy was 6-0 heading into that fight, man. Levy's green. I mean, he probably still is a little green, but I think that 15-minute experience against Rafa Garcia in that spot, I think that's just going to elevate him. His striking's good. I don't believe he has a knockout, but he hits hard. He's got wrestling. He's got jits. Like, the dude is UFC level, in my opinion. Mike Breeden, believe the only time we've seen him in the UFC was the Alex Hernandez fight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so, I mean, you can't take away a whole lot from the Alex Hernandez fight just because Hernandez is a solid fighter. He usually doesn't lose to bums. He hits hard. I mean, Alex Hernandez will, if you're at a low enough level, he will come out and start you. I don't think that Tom Levy is going to take care of him like that, but like the fight before the Alex Hernandez fight, the Nick Compton versus Mike Breeden fight, I watched that, and then right after that fight, I watched Natan Levy versus Rafa Garcia, and like it's just the levels. It looked drastically different. Mike Breeden's an all right boxer, I guess. He's got good hands. He might even have the better hands than Natan Levy, but Levy's got the kicks. He's got the wrestling. Like, I just feel like he's the better martial artist in this spot, and I feel like eventually he's going to catch Breeden with something, and I bet 3.76 units on him at minus 188. I feel like he bounces back, gets his first UFC win, and we'll see where Breeden goes from there. Next fight, this is one that's been highly discussed on Twitter. We got Gabe Green. He's about minus 140, taking on Johan Lainesse. He's about plus 120. Yeah, crazy line movement. I want to say Lainesse opened like minus 185 and Green opened like plus 160. Some shit like that. Like, it was completely flipped, and now Green's the favorite. We just don't know a lot about Lainesse. Like, it seems like he's a pretty fucking good striker. Like, he's accurate and he hits hard. Like, he's a sniper. He'll pick his spot. He'll throw, and he connects and he knocks people the fuck out. Like, he's a knockout artist. Let's be real. We just don't kind of know much more than that. Like, I know he took what's his name down on Contender, but like I don't think that's going to be like a every fight thing. I don't think you're going to see Johan Lainesse out here landing takedowns every UFC fight. He's coming to take people's heads off. Now Gabe Green's a guy I've been watching for a long time, like going back to like the Bellator prelims. It's been cool to see his progression, get into the UFC, puts on a war with Daniel Rodriguez, picks up a win against Phil Rowe. I mean, that right there is a good start to your UFC career, in my opinion. A war with Daniel Rodriguez and a win against Phil Rowe. That's I mean, to me, that makes you a proven guy. I'm not so sure Johan is proven yet. Now, he very well could be. He's just got less than 10 pro fights. The level of competition has been bad. Just where I see Gabe Green having an edge here, most likely. Firstly, those leg kicks are vicious, and this tall ass dude, he's gonna be he's going to be getting ripped with leg kicks here. Let's just be honest. I also think Gabe Green can just mix in wrestling. Kind of like the last one, man. I just see more of a well-rounded fighter. And I think that well-rounded fighter is he's going to find spots to either control the fight or just win the minutes. And one concerning thing I totally forgot, Gabe Green, now, did he say? I believe he said he had not a heart attack, but what felt like a heart attack. I'm seeing conflicting. I haven't actually seen the interview yet, but some people have said he had an actual heart attack. Someone said that he felt like he had a heart attack. I don't fucking know. Either way, that's definitely sketchy to hear. So at minus money, it's probably safe to pass on this fight now. But if you got in the Gabe Green, like pick him or plus money, I get it at that point. But it's probably accurate. The thing with Gabe in this matchup, like, yeah, you're looking out for the knockout power of Johan Lainesse. Gabe Green's kind of a punching bag. He does get hit a lot, but on the flip side, he's got a good ass chin. So it's like he makes it work, man. So I'm going to go with Gabe Green. I feel like he at some point he's going to take over in this fight. He's just got to kind of survive the early bombs. So moving on to the next one. This is going to be my next just completely stay the fuck away from this fight. We got Daniel De Silva. He's taking on Francisco Figuiredo. I believe Daniel De Silva is a minus 130 and Figuiredo is about a minus 110. Or you can get plus 110 on Figuiredo. So here's the thing. Francisco Figuiredo just has like a horrible like reputation right now because A, he had unrealistic expectations being the brother of the champ. B, he lost to fucking Malcolm Gordon. I mean, I get it, but here's the thing. Like, you got to realize, like, yeah, that's a horrible look, but this dude he's facing, Daniel De Silva, I don't see anything special in him either. Like, this probably is going to be a really fucking close fight. And that being said, in a really fucking close fight, you want the underdog. So it's probably dog or pass here. I would hope to see Figuiredo make some improvements, but we just don't know. Maybe the guy just really isn't that good. Daniel De Silva, like when I watched tape on him, like trust me, guys, when I went into research on this fight, when I saw Pick'em to be able to fade Francisco Figuiredo, I'm going into tape praying that this dude Daniel De Silva is something good so I could bet on him here. Just wasn't. Just wasn't anything special at all, man. Like, yeah, he's decently well-rounded, but like I don't see anywhere where he has a distinct edge over Figuiredo. I actually think Figuiredo he might actually win this fight just on his power. Like, he just might just land the bigger shots over 15 minutes. So I don't see many people making the pick of Francisco Figuiredo this week. So as an underdog, I'm gonna pick him. And no way am I gonna trust him with my money, but just to be the devil's advocate, give me Francisco Figuiredo in a 29-28 split decision. But this is just a really low level fight, guys. These last few fight cards have been pretty low level, let's be real, but hey, I ain't gonna complain about a Saturday night of fights, opportunities to make money. But this is where shit gets real right here. Actually, from this point on, the rest of the card is very good. So we got Alexander Romanov versus Chase Sherman, which was supposed to happen last week. Romanov's minus 2,500, guys. If you expect me to come on here and make some arguments for Chase Sherman, it ain't gonna fucking happen. I guess Chase Sherman has all right leg kicks. He's got more UFC experience than Romanov. I mean, if he can get off on those leg kicks, that's going to be huge. It's just like, is he going to stay on his feet? Is he going to stuff takedowns? Fuck no. Romanov is going to come in here and roll the dude. By the way, have you seen the shape Romanov is in? He dropped. Did they even? Yeah, they did weigh in. Obviously, they weighed in last week. The fight was canceled fucking during the event. I actually didn't catch the weigh-ins. I didn't see how Romanov looked there, but I saw a picture where he looked in insane shape. So we're probably going to see an even better version of Romanov. Chase Sherman is just like the ground game has never really been there with him. Like, you saw what happened when Jake Collier got him down. Like, we'll talk about Jake Collier later. I actually like Jake Collier, but he made Jake Collier look like a fucking world beater on the mat. So it's like, what is Romanov going to do? It's the minus 2,500's rightful guy. Let's be real here. So I'm going to go with Romanov, round 1, TKO. Moving on. This is a really interesting one, man. I feel like every week there's just a couple fights where I'm like, I just don't know. I don't have a good read on it, so I'm going to sit back. But we'll talk about it anyway. We got Gerald Meerschaert. He's taking on Krzysztof Jotko. Jotko, I want to say, is about a minus 170. Meerschaert's about a plus 145. So anytime there's a fight where I feel like my read's not the greatest, I always tend to gravitate towards making arguments for the underdog. So that's what I'll do here with Gerald Meerschaert. Can Gerald Meerschaert land takedowns in this fight? I mean, he's not the greatest wrestler. Krzysztof Jotko's got some pretty fucking solid takedown defense. I would say it's going to be pretty hard for GM3 to get takedowns here if that's his game plan. As far as the striking goes, I mean, Jotko's a really good point striker, guys. He's really tall. He's really long. He's got tools on the feet. I believe he's the younger guy here. He's just the better athlete. I just feel like his movement will be there. And he just has this way of slowing down fights. And, you know, it's going to be interesting because GM3 does definitely not fight at a slow pace. So it's like, I just don't know what's going to happen here. It's going to be interesting. I feel like Jotko could actually land some takedowns in this fight. It's just that probably wouldn't be a smart thing to do. Like, why give GM3 chances on the mat? So I don't know, man. I guess I do agree with Jotko being the favorite. It's just like, I don't know how it's going to play out. Unfortunately, I feel like the most likely thing is just a 3-round point striking battle where Jotko edges it. But on the flip side, I just don't know if Gerald's going to let it be that fight. I feel like he's going to be, going for it. Hopefully he doesn't get caught along the way. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's a tough one. I'll go with Jotko by decision, though. So moving on to the next fight. Here's a second bet I have. So we got Darren Elkins taking on Tristan Connelly. Darren Elkins currently sits at a minus 180, Connelly plus 155. I got in on Elkins early. I got the minus 130, 2.6 units to win 2 units. Yes, it is very scary betting on Darren Elkins, but let me explain why I'm comfortable with it in this position. So the main concern with Darren Elkins, yes, he's not young. Like, he is older. He's 37. But in this spot, he's fighting a 36-year-old. But you can say, oh, but Darren Elkins has taken so much damage. Tristan Connelly hasn't really taken any damage. Yes, Darren Elkins has taken a fuck ton of damage, but like, is Tristan Connelly the kind of guy that's going to exploit a damaged fighter? Like, does Tristan Connelly have big power? Does I mean, I get it. I believe me, guys. I get it with these narratives on certain guys, but like, how many times have we seen fighters you think, oh, this guy's done? This guy, you know how often I hear people saying that, oh, this guy's done, this guy's washed, he's finished. I mean, and then they come out and they beat the younger guy. Where in this case, Tristan Connelly's actually only 1 year younger. We just don't know a lot about Connelly, to be honest. Like, he had that fight against Michel Pereira where he won, but we all know that's literally only because Pereira did a 20-minute dance routine on his way out to the octagon and gassed himself out. It was, you never, if you put Pereira and Tristan Connelly up 99 more times, Michel Pereira is probably going to win 99 of those times. And then he had the one against Sabatini. Sabatini did his thing there. Sabatini's a very good wrestler, grappler. Fucking Darren Elkins is a very good wrestler and grappler. Darren Elkins is a very experienced guy, very tough guy, dude with very good cardio. I think in the early going, you might see some takedown defense shown off from Tristan Connelly. You might see some moments for him on the feet. Darren Elkins does get hit. But as this fight progresses, that's where I see Darren Elkins doing his thing, grinding Connelly out. He's going to shine through, man. I mean, this is a guy. I mean, what the fuck is Darren Elkins' UFC record? The dude's been around for a long time. He's won a lot of fights. He's beaten much better people than Tristan Connelly. I got Elkins in this spot. Like, at the minus 180 it sits at now, like, I would understand why somebody would have hesitation at this point, but where I got in at minus 130, felt very good about it. I think Darren Elkins wins. I'll say a 29-28 or a 30-27 unanimous decision, somewhere along those lines. Moving on to the next one, we got Grant Dawson. He's taking on Jared Gordon. This is an interesting one, man, because like, at my first glance at this fight, I was all about Grant Dawson. I thought for sure I'd have a bet on him here, and then I thought about the matchup more, man, and I just don't think, Jared Gordon's probably in the form of his career right now. Like, the dude's looking good. Like, he's still got some holes in his game, like his striking defense and his chin are definitely worrisome, but that's not what Grant Dawson does. He's not a dynamic striker with big power. It's just, who's going to get their wrestling going in this fight? Because actually, if you look at it, I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but Grant Dawson and Jared Gordon, I want to say they both have like less than 50% takedown defense. But then on the flip side, they both have really good offensive wrestling numbers. So you have two guys with good offensive wrestling numbers and then two guys with bad defensive wrestling numbers. So it's like, who is going to get the takedown first? Who's going to get the top control? And I mean, that's really all it comes down to. And I kind of feel like Jared Gordon having the cardio advantage, I just feel like he'll have the advantage late, whereas Grant Dawson will probably have the advantage early. It's really just all about where the momentum swing happens in this fight. I'm going to go with Grant Dawson still. He is the younger guy. I feel like if there was ever a fight for him to be able to show off some improvements in his striking, it'll probably be the Jared Gordon fight. I say that, but his striking actually looked pretty fucking good in the Glenn fight too. But like, Glenn's kind of a punching bag. And one other thing I'll say, like, yeah, he slowed down versus Rick Glenn, and it became a draw and all that. But like, part of the reason he gassed out guys is from beating the fuck out of Rick Glenn for 10 minutes. Let's be real here. I actually bet Rick Glenn in that spot at like plus 450 or some crazy shit. I was cheering him on to get that damn finish, but the draw was nice too, because, you know, you get your money back. But yeah, this is a good fight. I don't really have any strong convictions on it, but Grant Dawson should win. I'll say 29-28 unanimous decision. Moving on to the next one, we got Andre Fili. He's taking on Joe Anderson. Brito. Fili minus 235. Brito plus 200. Yeah, this guy Brito is interesting, man. Like, he's really strong. He's explosive. He's powerful. You know, he's got the attributes of a scary man. The problem is, I don't think he's very. I don't mean this to. You know, I'm just being real with you guys. Y'all should know me by now. I'm unfiltered. I'm gonna be real. I don't think he's very skilled. I just don't think there's a whole lot of technique behind his boxing. I don't think there's a lot of technique behind his wrestling. Like, you could see in that Bill Algeo fight, in his. Okay, so I won't say his cardio is bad. It's more just like the way he's built and the way he puts everything into every shot, the amount of strength he puts into every takedown. A slowdown is inevitable. So I'm not going to say his cardio sucks. It's just like, it's more about his style. But you could see in that Bill Algeo fight, like, Algeo, as soon as Brito would pin him up against the cage, like, all Algeo had to do was the right things, and he was able to get out of every fucking position. He was able to reverse basically every takedown or get back up to his feet. And he just, you know, he took over that fight. And I kind of feel like that's what's going to happen with Fili here. Here's my problem with Fili and why I'm not going to play the juice on Fili, even though he is absolutely an established UFC guy at this point. I have a lot of respect for Andre Fili, and normally I would bet a guy in this spot against someone I think lacks the skills. My problem with Andre Fili is the guy does not fucking check leg kicks. I meant to pull up Fili's stats because I wanted to talk about the fucking leg kicks, man. That last fight against Pineda, we all know he beat the shit out of Pineda. It is what it is. Pineda landed some big leg kicks then. That was probably his most success in the fight. I want to say Bryce Mitchell landed some leg kicks against Fili as well. What was the fight? It was is it the Jourdain fight? So Charles Jourdain landed 21 of 21 leg strikes. So Sodiq Yusuff, he landed 9 of 9 leg strikes. There was a couple more. Like, I did it the other day. If you go back at Andre Fili's stats, guy gets cracked with the leg kicks a lot. He doesn't check them. It honestly affects him in some fights. And I guess a really hard leg kicker and Brito. I'm kind of wondering if maybe he gets off on those early. I mean, Fili's a really tough guy. He can fight through some shit. It's just concerning when you get a hard leg kicker versus a guy who does not fucking check kicks. And then Fili also gets cracked. You know, I want to say he's only been knocked out by Yair, unless I'm completely forgetting something. But he got dropped against Jourdain. He got dropped against Miles Fury. He got dropped against Yair. He got dropped in another fight too, I want to say, or at least hurt. I just have my concerns with Fili. If he were to, you know, get down to like under minus 200, I think that might be a long-term smart bet. But yeah, I'm good for right now. If you got in on Brito, like plus 250, like I know my boy Dan from Half the Battle did, that's a solid line on him. He's also like 6,900 in DraftKings or some stupid cheap price. I think there might be some value on him there. But ultimately, I'm going to go with Fili to take over here. I'm going to say he wins a 29-28 unanimous decision. Might even get like a late TKO or sub. So moving on to the co-main event of the evening, guys. I got a bet here. And this isn't just a bet. Every week I'm going to try to give y'all my bet of the week, just to give y'all kind of an indicator of where my confidence is. Man, y'all are gonna call me crazy, but Jake Collier is my bet of the week, guys. So he's like plus 120 right now. I moved in at plus 110. I wish I would have waited a little more. Andre Arlovski is about minus 140 right now. A lot of people are surprised that I have this pick and that I have the confidence behind it, but let's be real. Andre Arlovski, he's 43 years old. Yes, I know this is the heavyweight division, but 43 is old even for the heavyweight division. I'll make excuses for the 38-year-olds, the 39-year-olds, the 40-year-olds. When you start getting to 43, it's a little old. And yes, I know he's won his last couple fights, but I mean, firstly, I feel like Vera, he could have won that fight. Carlos Felipe, he could have won that fight. The Chase Sherman one I won't even mention because Chase Sherman fucking sucks. Collier ran through him as well. We don't even need to bring that one up. The problem with the Vera and Carlos Felipe fights, they fought Arlovski's fights. Andre Arlovski thrives on slowing down fights to his horribly boring pace. And I get it. You're 43 fucking years old. You don't want to come out here, have wars. You want to have a light sparring session. And I get it. But the problem here with Jake Collier and this specific stylistic matchup, Jake Collier, okay, we're talking about a guy that used to fight at middleweight, so he's used to fighting at a much higher pace than the normal heavyweight standards. So let me get the Jake Collier stats up for y'all. So I don't even got to mention it. Everybody in this chat has seen Andre Arlovski and his billion boring fights over the last few years and how it's very low volume. It's not pretty. It's effective, but it's not pretty. So Jake Collier, he is going to bring something that Arlovski is not going to be comfortable with at all, and that is a high volume pace, big diversity of strikes. Collier has wrestling he can mix in as well. And I know a lot of you guys might have a bad taste in your mouth with Jake Collier because you saw how he came back post-COVID when he fought Tom Aspinall. He showed up as a completely different guy. He looked like a fat guy. I mean, he looked fucking terrible. Now, the last few fights, I've noticed he looks, and he's not in a amazing shape or anything, but he's looking in better shape each time, and he's really finding his groove in heavyweight, in my opinion. Like the fight he had against Carlos Felipe, that was a really fucking good fight. One I thought he could have easily won. Look at the stats he had in this fight. So against Gian Vellante, he landed 123 significant strikes. He threw 272. A heavyweight threw 272 significant strikes. And we're not just talking fucking, lobbing bombs. Jake Collier mixes in some good fucking strikes, man. He's got some kicks. He's got a hard style to read, man. There's a big diversity in his attacks. The Carlos Felipe fight landed 130 significant strikes through 281. Arlovski's numbers usually look around 64, 83. He had a 105 against Chase Sherman, but Chase Sherman's an absolute punching bag. He had 34 in a 15-minute fight against Tanner Boser, 50 in a 15-minute fight against Felipe Lins. The Ben Rothwell fight was the most volume he's ever had, but that's just because Ben Rothwell is the slowest dude in the division. He's a punching bag as well. Like, unless you're a punching bag, Andre Arlovski's not landing volume on you. That is what it is. The thing with this one, the kind of pressure that Jake Collier is going to bring, he's going to have no choice, but he's going to have to either crack that Collier chin. He's going to have to engage in these firefights. And I don't think a 43-year-old is going to be able to keep up with that kind of pace, or he's going to have to wrestle Jake Collier here. But like, has Arlovski landed fucking takedowns recently? Like, not really. The last time Andre Arlovski landed a takedown, Shamil Abdurrahimov in 2018. Here's another thing I saw today. Andre Arlovski has the record for most consecutive UFC fights without a single knockdown. He is currently on a 20-fight streak without a knockdown. So it's like he hasn't landed a takedown since 2018. He hasn't landed a knockdown since 2015 or some shit. He keeps edging these super fucking close split decisions. So I feel like worst case scenario here for Jake Collier is a close split decision. As the underdog, you want the underdog in these close split decision fights. And this is just speaking worst case scenario. So, like, there's an underdog that you can bet on this Saturday that the worst case scenario is losing a split decision. Now, that's not what I think is going to happen. I think the volume is going to get to Arlovski. I don't think he's going to be able to keep up. I think Collier is going to mix in some takedowns as well. He's got a decent top game. He's got a 10-year age difference. He's got momentum and confidence back. Guys, book it. Jake Collier wins on Saturday night. The dog money is ridiculous. He should be the favorite here. Andre Arlovski's a really streaky fighter. So, like, when he does win, he wins a few in a row. That's what you're seeing right now. But then when he does lose, he loses a lot. So, I don't know. This could be the start to a nice L streak for Andre Arlovski. I just feel like it's a really bad matchup for him. He's 43 now. It's getting to the end for Mr. Andre Arlovski, and I just feel good about this matchup for Jake Collier. So, moving on to the main event of the evening, we got, oh, by the way, I have 3 units on Collier at plus 110. So, moving on to the main event, we got Mr. Rob Font taking on Marlon Chito Vera. Rob Font minus 135, Marlon Vera plus 115. So this is a fucking tough one, man. So let me say that firstly. This is a very tough one. And in a very tough one, I'm obviously going to always gravitate towards the underdog. So what case can I make for Marlon Chito Vera in this fight? Well, obviously the biggest one is going to be the fact that the dude is a beast late in fights, and he's finally even he's going to be able to show off his cardio in rounds 4 and 5 of a fight for the first time. If it gets there, you know, there's a chance it may not, but I feel like it will. That's a big one. So the cardio going late into the fight, that's going to be an advantage for Chito Vera. Jiu-jitsu. I feel like Chito Vera has a very underrated, dangerous submission game. Do I think it's going to hit the mat? I mean, I don't see takedowns in this fight, so I think it's going to take a knockdown for it to get there. So I feel like maybe the only grappling we see here is if there's a knockdown to submission for Chito Vera. So this fight's going to play it on the feet. I mean, I would say Chito is the better kicker, and that's probably as far as I can go as far as advantages for Marlon Vera. I feel like the minutes, especially early in this fight, are going to be won by Rob Font. And I'm not even just talking about this fight. Like, we've seen, I mean, this can be backed up by history. Marlon Vera drops rounds early in fights consistently. So I feel like against one of the most elite boxers in the division, I mean, Rob Font, he's got to mind his P's and Q's with the calf kicks, and just got to do his thing with the hands. I feel like he has way, way better hands than Chito Vera. Man, it's just like, can he do it for 5 rounds against Chito, though? Can he win the first 3 rounds and then survive the last 2? There's a lot of questions with this fight. With it being 5 rounds, it makes it really fucking tough. If this fight was 3 rounds, I'd probably confidently come out here and pick Rob Font 29-28 unanimous decision. The problem is, I just feel like as this fight wears on, those calf kicks will add up. Chito's pressure will start to get to him. I'm not going to say Rob Font isn't tough, or I'm not going to say anything like that, but like he can be broken in fights. Let's be real. Like you can get to him. And I feel like Chito Vera, late into the fight, he's just gonna get to Rob Font. Like we might be hitting into round 4 with Rob Font having a 60 strike differential, but it won't matter because Chito Vera hits him with one big one. The whole momentum of the fight changes. And if you're hurt and gassed at all, standing in front of Chito Vera and round 4 or 5 of this fight, man, he could be in some serious trouble. It's just like, man, I wish this fight was 3 rounds for Rob Font's case, but it's not. I'm glad it's 5 rounds. We get to see Chito show off that cardio. The thing with Chito, now, am I going to bet him at plus 115? It's like, do I think he's going to get the round 4 or 5 finish? Probably. But if he doesn't, will Rob Font be up 3-0 in the round count by that time? And will it be too little too late from Chito? I don't know. There's a lot of fucking questions in this fight, man. It's a really, really tough one. Like, so like, do I want to bet on this guy at plus 110 when I think his only chance of winning is a round 4 or 5 finish? I don't know. I'm really struggling with it, man. It's a tough fight. It's an amazing main event. As far as other ways to play this fight, like, so Marlon inside the distance, it's plus 235 on my book, but I see plus 300 in a lot of places. That might not be a bad look. Rob Font by decision, plus 170. So if you want to save about 100 cents on Rob Font's money line and you don't like his chances of finishing this fight, Rob Font by decision plus 170 ain't a bad look. And if you want to make it even safer and hedge Rob Font by decision with Chito inside the distance plus 300, that's not a bad look either. Vera wins in round 4 plus 1,600. Vera wins in round 5 plus 2,200. I mean, there's some fun ways to play this fight. As far as the money line goes, it's so close. I feel like there's not much value on either side at this point. Anytime I'm picking a guy to win and he's the underdog, I'm going to be really tempted to bet it, and I am tempted to bet Marlon Vera. It's just like, it's hard to bet on a guy when you think he's going to get boxed up bad the first 15 minutes. So I don't know. I just want to sit back and see what happens. I'm happy to pass on it. I'll let my other 3 bets do their thing. We'll have many opportunities throughout the year for bets. So no need to force any action if we're not feeling great about it. But that's it, guys. That is the 12 fight card. If you got any questions, throw them in the live chat real quick. I'll see what's up. I appreciate y'all in that chat. I like the sub prop of Brito. I think he gets it. Sub? I mean, I don't know what the line is. Let's see what the line on the sub prop on Brito is. It wouldn't be at the top of my mind for an outcome in this fight, but I mean, he's super strong. If he takes that neck of Fili, Brito by sub, plus 800, plus 1,400. I mean, shit, dude, if you're going to take a big old flyer like that, I guess, I mean, it's MMA. Crazy shit happens. I agreed with the Brito fight, but I'm not going to late. Blah, blah. Where this is headed. Yeah, the Brito fight, it's a tough one. We just don't, we don't know. I mean, Brito's only 27 years old. He could make some adjustments after that Algeo fight. We could see an improved guy. That's the main event is a fun fight. You were damn skippy. It is. Cheeto's just too slow at the top level. I mean, I ain't gonna disagree about him not being one of the fastest guys in the division. I don't see Rob finishing New England Cartel. Do hate leg kicks. Yeah, that those calf kicks are going to be a problem for Font. So 45 minutes, guys. That's actually about how long I wanted this to last. Hoping most of them can be that long. Again, I want to thank all you guys. Anyone who stayed, subscribed throughout the years, through all the hiatuses, I appreciate it. All the new subscribers, I appreciate y'all as well. Got like 40 new ones since I made the announcement that we were coming back. So appreciate y'all. I want to grow this thing. So hit the like button. I normally don't, I don't give a shit about the number of likes. It's just, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. So like the more people that like this video, the more people will see it, jump in with us. It'll be a good old time. And another thing, if you're just out here on YouTube and you're not on MMA Twitter yet, make a fucking Twitter. That's where it's at. Follow me at MMA Kelton. And if you're watching this podcast and I'm not following you on Twitter, comment your Twitter username and I'll follow you on Twitter. Trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. So next week's the pay-per-view. That's going to be a fun one. We got, we got Carla Esparza and Rose Namajunas, the rematch for the strawweight title. That's going to be a fun one to break down. Spoiler alert, I think the value is on Carla Esparza. We also got Michael Chandler versus Tony Ferguson. It's a banger of a fight. Live bet Cheeto. Hell yeah, that's a great idea for sure. Especially if he wins one of those first 3 rounds. Here's the thing, man. If Cheeto can bank one of the first 3 rounds, I mean, you got to know that he's probably going to come in there and win the 4th and 5th. I mean, that's that could be a spot right there. Man, thinking more about this Cheeto fight. Oh my God, he's going to be such a motherfucker to deal with in that 4th and 5th round. I mean, Cheeto sub is really live to me. Like, I get he could get a TKO as well, but like, I just envision him wrapping up the neck with like a anaconda. We'll see. Always follow me on Twitter. If I happen to make another bet, you will see it there. I've said it a million times, but I appreciate y'all again. I'm going to get up out of here. And to anybody who's about to comment about timestamps, don't worry, I'm going to make the damn timestamps. I know that's very helpful to someone who doesn't have time to watch the whole podcast, so they just want to watch one particular fight. So, yes, I will do that. I'm going to do a lot more. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Appreciate you guys. NFL draft tomorrow. Let's fucking go, Ravens. Oh, yeah. In the description. So about Prize Picks, if you want to get on with Prize Picks, that link's there. And then my homies, Chronic Combat, go subscribe to them. Should be in the description, unless it didn't save for some fucking reason. But I'm done rambling. I'm out of here. Appreciate you guys. Peace.